What is up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Pass the Spread. I am joined by CEO Trent, Attyah, and Nick Yahl, Bookit's very own. We're going to talk NBA. We have 12 games on the slate tonight, a lot of basketball. Let's start off with some locks. I want to hear a couple of maybe some parlays. Trent, let's start with you. What do you like tonight in the NBA?
Absolutely. Well, we got a Winter Wire Wednesday. Winter Wire Wednesday. You know what that means? We tail the wire. Tail the wire. He's taking Nuggets -6, and I'm going to tail him on that. And then also I've got the Cavaliers -2.5. And I'm also going to take those straight, and I'll put it in a little two-team parlay as well. But those are my two favorite plays of the day I like so far.
I like it. Nick, what do you like tonight in the NBA?
Well, I am taking the over 222 in the Mavericks Jazz game. Jazz are 9-1 in their last 10, so that is strong to quite strong. I think there's going to be a lot of points put up in this one. Luka Doncic coming off a triple-double, almost averaging a triple-double on the year. So I'm going with a 222. As far as parlays go, I like a little Cavs, Magic, Celtics, money line parlay. Celtics are now all healthy. All of them are favored in these games, including the Celtics on the road at San Antonio. I like a little money line parlay there. So give me those three.
I like it. I am taking I actually have two separate parlays, but I'm going to start with this one or just talk about this one. I like Nuggets -6. They finally are in their groove, and we don't have a healthy Miami quite yet. I like Mavs +1.5. I think with Donovan Mitchell being out with the Jazz, I like the Mavs here a lot to just win outright. And then I like Pacers -2. I love Pacers this year. Ask anybody. I've kind of been a Pacers fan. Don't ask me why, but I like them. I think they play some great basketball. So that is my little parlay that I cooked up. Let's move on. We've got two of the best teams in the league going at it tonight. We've got Philadelphia, the Lakers against the Lakers. The Lakers are favored here at -3.5. They are at Philadelphia. So the 76ers are coming off of a loss to Detroit. They had no Joel Embiid. Now they do. They're supposed to have him tonight. The Lakers are also coming off of LeBron's best game in years. I think it was 46 points, something ridiculous. What do we like here? Nick, let's start with you first.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lakers in this one. 3.5 isn't a ton of points, and I do think Philadelphia, despite their record, are a bit of a pretender team. They don't get too much from the role players outside of Embiid and their shooters, so they really need to get more from their role players if they want to have a chance. But LeBron playing his best basketball, I'm going with the Lakers all day.
I like it. Trent, what about you? What do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, I just did my research and saw LeBron is a game-time decision tonight, and I'm sure that's because of the workload he put on himself yesterday. So I'm going to hold off and wait to see what that game-time decision is. I love riding Lakers spread. However, without a LeBron, I'm probably going to stay away from that game. There's money to be made elsewhere on this huge board we got today. So I'm going to hold off and wait to hear the news on what the lineups look like tonight. But I mean, I can't fade the Lakers with a healthy LeBron in there.
Yeah, no, I think this is a really good example of, if you don't know, just stay away from it. I struggle with that sometimes, but I actually like the 76ers here. They've only lost once at home against the Nuggets. I think this is going to be a really close game. Look, LeBron had a record-breaking night the other night. What are the chances that we get that again? He accounted for 40% of the points scored against the Cavs. So it makes me a little bit nervous. And again, Trent, like you said, if he's a game-time decision and he's not completely healthy, give me the Sixers here to at least cover the spread at +3.5. So that is my move for tonight. Call it a hot take. Betting against LeBron's never a great idea, but I'm going to do it anyways. We're about a quarter of the way done with the season. So what better time than now to look at some NBA futures? Book it or cook it style. These odds are via FanDuel. Like we've done before, book it if you love it, cook it if you don't. Let's talk LeBron +500 for MVP. Trent, let's start with you. Book it or cook it.
I mean, the fact that we're here in his 19th season, 20th season? I don't even know anymore. But the fact that we're still talking LeBron MVP as the favorite, it's insane. The dude he's immortal, and Like, he's just getting better and better, and he's like fine wine, and he ages with – I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy what we've been able to see from LeBron. I personally – I don't know who's going to be able to take the throne from him. I really don't. We got Luka plus 550, Joel at 600, KD plus 650. But if the Lakers are able to just finish off this the regular season the way that they've been playing and take that momentum into the playoffs, I really, honestly, I just don't see how you can give the MVP to anybody else but the King.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of young talent that has, kind of risen up, and we're seeing their numbers and they're speaking for themselves. But are they matching the same level of LeBron James? Probably no. Nick, are you on the same page? Book it or cook it for LeBron James at plus 500.
Yeah, I'm booking it all day. LeBron averaging 25 points per game, not tops in the league. But when you look at these guys and who gets the MVP, it's usually the guy that can carry his team to the finals. So give LeBron.
I like it. We've got Luka at plus 550. Nick, let's start with you. Book it or cook it on this one.
Looking at it again here, Luka is averaging just under a triple-double per game. That's great. Again, when you look at the whole body of work, I'm going to book this one.
Like it. Trent, are you on the same page or are you cooking it?
I'm going to cook this one. I want to give Luka at least another season before I see him winning the MVP on this one. I think it's LeBron's year. Again, I'm going to cook it despite him averaging just under a triple-double.
I like it. I'm a little salty we don't see Jokic on this list, but I'll move on from that. Anyway, we have Joel Embiid here at plus 600. Trent, let's start with you. Book it or cook it on this one.
Again, I'm going to cook this one as well. I think the Sixers are really inconsistent, and they don't close out games. And Joel, he's the centerpiece of this team, and he brings the best out of everybody. Despite that, though, I'm still going to cook it.
I was going to say, you kind of like counter-argued yourself there, because we're talking about most valuable player here. If he's able to get the Sixers in the position that he has, I mean, that's pretty big job. If we're talking MVP, just player, he's kind of taken on a big role and has brought the Sixers farther than I think they've deserved to be. Arguably, just playing devil's advocate. Nick, let's move on to you. Plus 600 for Joel Embiid. Book it or cook it.
One of the best offensive big man in the league. Defensively doesn't do enough on that side of the ball. Cooking it on this one.
Okay, defense. That's the one thing standing in your way, Joel. Figure it out. Last but not least, we've got KD at plus 650. Nick, let's start with you. Book it or cook it on this one.
I liked KD preseason, but I'm cooking this one. He's the best pure scorer in the league. Doesn't do enough on the team with those three guys, though, moving the ball around too much, and they're not winning ball games right now. So I'm cooking this one.
I think if we had most valuable triple threat, we would know exactly where it's going. But in terms of a player, I definitely see what you're saying here. Trent, book it or cook it with KD at plus 650.
I don't see too much value in this pick. We got 3 MVPs on the same floor, and guess what? There's only one basketball, so I'm cooking this.
Okay. I kind of insinuated where my brain would go on this next one. Is there anyone that Book It did not mention that may be MVP worthy? I'm just going to say it. Jokic. Sorry, I had to go there. Trent, anyone that we didn't mention that you think is worthy of an MVP status?
Yeah, unfortunately, my guy SGA on the Oklahoma City Thunder, Shea, baby, he's playing too good. We need to keep losing these games. I don't like these Thunder wins, but I mean, what can I say? Shea's playing great ball, and he doesn't get the respect he deserves.
I take advantage of him a lot with my player props, and he hasn't failed me yet. So I agree with you on that one. But when he fails me, then I'm done with him. I'm just done. Nick, anyone we didn't mention that you think is worthy of MVP status?
Brad Beal, best scorer in the league right now, but the Wizards suck. They're terrible. Russell Westbrook is abysmal. 163 shots on the year, 163 points. Wizards can't do enough to win ball games. Brad Beal, get him out of Washington, please. He's the league's best scorer. He's easily an MVP candidate on a different team.
It makes you wonder how many MVP candidates that we would see if they were on a team where they could really shine, right? Like, I mean, LeBron James,
Yes.
of course, he's the GOAT, but he's on a team where he's able to win, and the numbers, they help him for sure. Moving on, let's talk Rookie of the Year. Okay, so a little bit of a different take here. Nick, do you have any Rookies of the Year this year that you're liking?
Yeah, there's a few of the guys out there. You got James Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, both going tonight. Should be a fun matchup to watch. LaMelo Ball. I like James Wiseman, though. Early on in the season, Golden State wasn't working him into the offense as much. Now they are. He's getting more minutes. His scoring is going up. He's getting more efficient with the ball, limiting those turnovers, more assists. So I like James Wiseman as my front runner at this moment for Rookie of the Year.
I like it. Trent, let's move on to you. Rookie of the Year for you.
I love what I've seen out of Anthony Edwards in his first season, first few games. Great guy, just a character. But if we're talking on the court, statistical, so far this season, LaMelo Ball. You got to give it to LaMelo Ball.
Oh God, if Mikey overhears you say this,
he's putting the Hornets on the map, and he's really establishing his presence in the NBA immediately in his first year. I love what I'm seeing out of him, and I think he's got it locked up.
I really hope Mikey doesn't overhear this episode, because, oh my God, he's going to do a backflip in his seat. Let's move on. Trent, I'm going to start with you on this one. Defensive Player of the Year. Defense wins championships. Who deserves this title this year, in your opinion, so far?
Yeah, right now we're seeing the favorite, Anthony Davis, at plus 200. But guys, I see a lot of value. Andre Drummond, he's plus 15,000, and he's playing really well. Even if you put $5 on that, you're going to cash out if it does hit. I don't know why he's such an underdog there. He's a machine on defense, and he's terrific at rebounding the ball. But locking up those big men, he's a tough opponent to face. Andre Drummond is my low-key value.
I really like him. Again, I've used him in player props for rebounds, and he hasn't failed me yet. This is what happens. The players are on. I love them all until they lose me money, and then I have a grudge. But so far, I'm on board with him. I like him a lot. Nick, let's move on to you. Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you like right now?
I like Rudy Gobert. It's going to be one of my two Jazz players we're going to talk about right here. He's top 3 in rebounds, top 3 in blocks. On the defensive side of the ball, he does a lot. They certainly run their scoring through Donovan Mitchell, so he's not as big of a scoring threat on inside, but this is a defensive award. Defensive side of the ball, he takes care of business. Yeah,
keep in mind these players that we're talking about, because these are, I don't like to say locks, but in player prop world, they are they're pretty good players to rely on, that's for sure. We've got another one, Sixth Man of the Year. Don't get me started on sixth men, because Will Barton, I mean, what a joke fest that was. Calling him, starting the year saying, I'm not the sixth man, and then I bet over 14.5 points, and the dude scores zip in 30 minutes of playing time. Don't get me started. I'm still ticked off. Sixth Man of the Year, Nick, let's start with you. Who do you like as the Sixth Man of the Year this year so far?
Well, I think the front runner's got to be my guy from the University of Missouri and the Utah Jazz, Jordan Clarkson. Certainly Donovan Mitchell gets all that credit, but when he doesn't play, Jordan Clarkson comes in and as the backup point guard has done a terrific job, 17 points per game off the bench. He's taking care of business. That's averaging 17 points per game off the bench. That's pretty good for a sixth man, so I like Jordan Clarkson. Sticking with my boy, MIZ.
We'll have to stay tuned to see how. I have got him in a player prop tonight. I snagged him at over 14.5 points. Mitchell was out. It moved to 19.5. So he's going to get more usage tonight. So he may actually cash on that 19.5 over tonight without Mitchell playing. So stay tuned. I'll either be super happy tomorrow or super ticked with him. We'll see. Trent, let's go to you. Sixth Man of the Year. Who do you like?
I got to give it to Montrezl Harrell. I love what I see out of him. He's such a huge role player for this Lakers team. And if they want to go deep into the playoffs, they're going to need huge moments from their important role players. And Montrezl just has such a great presence in the paint, plays great defense, rebounds, shows great energy every minute he's on the floor. And he's been a huge centerpiece for this Lakers team. And I see him playing a huge role into their run in the playoffs. So I like him as the Sixth Man of the Year. He's been a huge part of this Lakers team.
This is a hot take, and don't judge me for this one. He kind of reminds me of the Richard Sherman of NBA. Just a little aggressive, and I know people are going to be like, oh, it's because they look alike. No, I'm being serious. As a player, he's kind of got that aggression, and that you can tell he's got a very competitive nature, and it can come across as a little much, and you're like, dude.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for a Montrezl Harrell and Patrick Beverley Lakers Clippers playoff matchup.
Love it.
It's going to be a dogfight.
I love it. Okay, last but not least, let's talk most improved player of the year. Trent, we're going to start with you. This is a big one because this has been a very interesting year with a lot of ups and a lot of downs. So who do you think has come the farthest in this season so far?
I got to give it to Jerami Grant. He's an OG Thunder player, and he's been playing out of his mind. He's averaging his career high 23 points right now. I'm seeing a lot of people on Book It Sports taking his over on his player prop and points, and I'm like, guys, that's so many points for Jerami Grant. But he's playing really well. He has really, really improved this season and establishing himself as a rising star in this league. So I really like what I've seen from him to win this Most Improved Player award.
I hope you're right, because I have him over 23.5 tonight.
Of course you do.
Stay tuned. Life is too short to bet the over, and if Mikey over has taught me anything, it's the under is
the under.
Oh, the under. Life's too short to bet the under, and if Mikey over has taught me anything, it's that the over is the way to go. So yes, Jerami Grant over 23.5 tonight. I have a lot of faith in that guy tonight, so we'll see how he does for me. Nick, most improved player of the year for you right now. Who is it?
Yeah, I'm looking at a different guy. I did like Jerami Grant, but I've been taking a lot of favorites when we look at these futures bets. And Jaylen Brown on the Celtics is a guy I look at plus 1,800 right now for most improved player. It's a guy that's been in the league for a number of years, 4 or 5 years now, and has really taken a stride in the last two on his points per game. Now averaging 27 points per game. Certainly JT and Kemba get all the credit on the Celtics as their big-time players taking those last shots. But Jaylen Brown, as kind of a number 3 guy, number 3-4 guy, has really made some strides where I think he could potentially earn that award. And I like the value at plus 1,800.
I like it. I love plus money. I'm all about plus money. All right, fellas, thanks so much for joining me. We will be back for another one of these episodes. I'm not sure if you guys will get the invite to come back with me, but if you do, I'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Pass the Spread. CEO Trent, Attyah, and Nick Yahl, Book It's very own. We will be back for more Pass the Spread later this week.